Philippines. Over 7,100 islands, 16 regions of bountiful nature, rich culture, and colorful stories. Philippines has its own version of mythology, of heroes and heroines, of legends and lore. To culminate a summer full of stories bound in mystique and beauty, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary heroes of mythical gods, goddesses, and creatures of Philippine literature. Princess or Duha, also known as Udaya or the name Urha, is reputed to be a good warrior who personally led her soldiers to the battlefields and is adept in sword fighting and horseback riding. She was also believed to be multi-dialect, which is a common characteristic of the nobles in pre-colonial Philippines. Princess or Duha. Daragang Magayon. Daragang Magayon is the heroine that appears in the legend of Mount Mayon in Albay. Her name means beautiful lady. Magayon grew up to be a very beautiful and sweet woman. They named the volcano as Bulkang Magayon, describing its perfect cone shape like the beauty of Daragang Magayon. Lamang. Lamang is an extraordinary and exceptional creature manifesting when he begins to speak in his early years. His adventure began when his father, Don Juan, set out for a battle but never returned. At barely 9 months, Lamang went and searched for his father in the highlands, leaving his grieving mother, Hamongan. Lamang. Raha Indarapatra. From the legend of Lanao Lake, Raha Indarapatra, together with Soliman, set out to kill the giant Umakaan, who was horribly addicted to eating humans. It is said that the small islands and hills of Lanao Lake came from the dirt balls that Umakan hurled to kill Indarapatra. But ultimately, with the help of his magic sword, Indarapatra won the battle. Raha Indarapatra. Hanan. Hanan is a Tagalog goddess of the morning. She is the charming sister of Mayari and Tala, and one of the 3 daughters of Bathala by a mortal woman. Anitun Tabo is a fickle-minded goddess and the daughter of Idayanale and Dumagan, and the sister of Dumakulan. She is the controller of the wind and the main manipulator of rain. Anidon Tabo. Mayari. She is the beautiful and most charming lunar deity who was the daughter of Bathala to a mortal woman. Mayari is the goddess of combat, war, revolution, hunt, weaponry, beauty, strength, moon, and night. Mayari. Pala, which means gold. She is the goddess of the stars, the bright and morning star. She is a sparkling beauty that shines at night, guiding your way when you're lost in the dark. Her looks agree to her character. She is a soft and kind-hearted goddess. Tala. Diyan Masalanta. Diyan Masalanta is the goddess of love, conception, and childbirth, and a protector of lovers. Diyan Masalanta loved all living things, and most of all, she had a deep love and connection with humanity. Recognizing her compassion for man, the great god Bathala gave her the duty of peacemaker, the warring tribes of the Philippines. Diyan Masalanta. Lakapati or Ikapati, which means giver of food. Also known as the hermaphrodite deity, is the goddess of fertility and the protector of farm animals and crops, and is the mother goddess of the Tagalog. During the early periods of Spanish colonization, this goddess was used by evangelists as an equivalent for the Holy Spirit. Lakapati. Amansinaya. She is the primordial Tagalog goddess of the sea and the protector of fishermen. She was one of the only three beings who existed when the earth was still young. The other two being Bathala, the god of the sky, and Amihan, the north wind. Amansinaya. Idianale, the goddess of labor and good deeds. Natives used to call her guidance in order to make their works successful. She loves to help those hardworking people and take away the burden of their work. She loves to do good deeds to others. Idianale. Anagolay. Anagolay is the goddess of lost things and the only offspring of Lakapati and Mapulon. She was married to Kalem, the son of Inyable and Dumangan, by whom she had 2 children. Anagolay. Diwata. Diwata is a type of deity or spirit. In modern times, the term Diwata is sometimes loosely used to refer to generic type of beings much like elf or fairy, of very specific types. Generally, they are described as normal human and save from some distinct characteristics. Diwata. Mangkukulam. Mangkukulam is a Filipino term for a witch or sorcerer, literally meaning a practitioner of kulam. She employs a doll to hurt her enemies. Because of her magic powers, whatever she does to a doll representing her target happens to that person in real life. Mangkukulam. Mariang Makiling. Maria Makiling is a forest nymph who is invoked to stop deluge storms and earthquakes. Maria Makiling is the guardian spirit of the mountain, responsible for protecting its bounty and thus is also a benefactor for the townspeople depend on the mountain's resources. Maria Makiling. Alunsina. A prominent goddess in the Panay pantheon of gods. Alunsina is also called Laoncina. She is also known as the unmarried one and the one from foreign skies. She is considered to be a virgin goddess of the eastern skies and the wife of Tungkong Langit. She was also said to be a guardian against strong typhoons and of beauty and marriage. Alunsina. Once again, the heroes and heroines, the goddess and the mythical creatures of Philippine literature. Greek mythology. One of the finest pieces of literature in the world. It talks about different myths and legends of supernatural beings which helped rule and mold the world as it is now. Ladies and friends, let's welcome the Titans, mythical beings, gods and goddesses, as depicted in Greek mythology. Phoebe. Phoebe is the titan of the moon and is considered to be the goddess of prophecy. Though Phoebe was calm, she could be hard to get rid of. Phoebe's symbol is the moon. One myth about Phoebe is that Zeus granted her a wish and gave a young shepherd eternal youth. Phoebe. Astreus is the titan of the dusk and the winds. He is the son of Creus and Eurybia, and is married to Eos, the goddess of the dawn, and created numerous children, including the 4 Anemoi and the 5 Astra Planeta. Astreus. Leto. Leto is a titan goddess of childbirth and motherhood, and is the daughter of Coeus and Phoebe. She is also known as the goddess of modesty and kindness. Leto. Selene. Selene is the goddess of the moon and the mother of the vampires. She influences the lunar cycles. She could also control time and has the power of giving sleep. Selene is sometimes called the patron of solutions because she's in charge of dream and said to give people solutions to their problems while they were sleeping. Selene. Calypso. Calypso is an oceanid sea nymph who lived in the island of Ogygia. She is generally said to be the daughter of the titans Atlas and Tethys. Her name is related to a Greek word which means to conceal, and she symbolizes the forces that divert men from their goals. Calypso. Maya. Maya is one of the Pleiades and the mother of Hermes. Maya's themes are sexual prowess, playfulness, and wishes. Her symbols are braided and knotted items. Maya is the goddess associated with Vulcan. She is worshipped on May, the month named after her. She is also the queen of the flowers. Hades. Hades is the ancient Greek god of the underworld and is regarded as the oldest son of Cronus and Rhea, and the brother to Zeus and Poseidon. Hades is mostly portrayed with 3-headed dog Cerberus. He strictly forbade his subjects to leave his domain and would become quite enraged when anyone tried to leave. Hades. Persephone. Persephone is the goddess of spring and is the daughter of Zeus and Demeter. She is a formidable, venerable, majestic queen of the underworld. Persephone is usually depicted as a young goddess holding sheaves of grain and a flaming torch. Persephone. Hestia. Hestia is the goddess of earth, family, and domestic life. She is defined as gentle, forgiving, peaceful, secure, stable, and above all else, well-centered. Her living flame represents the energy of all life that soothes us with warmth and comfort. It gives us security, peace, and help us accept the truth of our lives within her grace. Hestia. Demeter. Demeter is the goddess of the harvest and presides over grains and the fertility of the earth. Although she was most often referred as the goddess of harvest, she was also the goddess of sacred law and the cycle of life and death. Hera. Is the queen of the gods and is the wife and sister of Zeus. She is known as the goddess of marriage and birth. Despite this, she was known to be jealous, possessive, and vengeful towards the many lovers and offspring of her husband, Zeus. Hera. Poseidon. Poseidon is the god of the sea, earthquakes, storms, and horses. He is the son of Cronus and Rhea. He is the protector of all waters. Sailors relied upon him for safe passage. Poseidon could strike the ground with his trident to produce an earthquake. Poseidon. Medusa. Medusa is a monster, a gorgon, generally described as a winged human female with a hideous face and living venomous snakes in a place of hair. Gazers of her face would turn to stone. She was beheaded by Perseus, which retained its ability to stone. Medusa. Athena. Athena is the Greek goddess of wisdom, reason, arts, literature, and strategic warfare. She is fierce and brave in battle. However, she only took part in wars that defended the state and home from outside enemies. Athena. Aphrodite. Aphrodite is the goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and procreation. Apart from her natural beauty, she also has a magical girdle that compelled anyone to desire her. Aphrodite represents sex, affection, and attraction that binds people together. The lovely Aphrodite. Artemis. Artemis is known as the goddess of the hunt and is one of the respected ancient Greek deities. She is also the goddess of virginity, chastity, the moon, and the natural environment. She is depicted as a huntress carrying a bow and arrow, and is the lovely twin of Apollo, Artemis. Hermes. Hermes is also known the messenger of the gods. He is also the god of trade, thieves, travelers, and athletes. He is considered as a god of transitions and boundaries, and is often described as quick and cunning. He is also portrayed as the intercessor between the worlds and the mortal divine. Hermes. Once again, the Titans, the gods and goddesses, and other mythical creatures in Greek mythology. Hope that you have enjoyed our short presentation for this morning, presenting the different Greek gods and goddesses, and as well as the our very own gods and goddesses in the Philippines. Thank you so much for having me, Miss Cherry Guzon.
You're welcome, JB.
This is such an honor for me to host and introduce to our fellow students